Catabolism is a part of metabolism. Okay, metabolism is the process by which, or is the, it could be said that this is a combined process. There is a lot of biomolecular reaction is here and biochemical reaction, and the sum of all the biochemical reaction necessary to ensure the living of your cell is known as metabolism. সবগুলো একত্রে যে সমস্ত প্রসেসের মাধ্যমে বায়োকেমিক্যাল your cell gets alive, or your cell ensure its productivity or ensure the activity is known as metabolism. Metabolic reactions may be categorized as catabolic and the breaking down of compounds, for example breaking down of glucose, breaking down of pyruvate and cellular respiration, or anabolic building up the compounds. অর্থাৎ মেটাবলিজমের দুইটা পার্ট থাকবে, ঠিক না? So metabolism is the process আমি যখন বোর্ডে লিখবো তখন বোর্ডটা ট্যাপ করে নিও, হ্যাঁ? তাহলে দুইটা পার্ট, একটা হচ্ছে ক্যাটাবলিজম আর একটা হচ্ছে অ্যানাবলিজম। Catabolism is the part by which anything gets divided into the smaller spaces. In any biochemical reaction, just keep in concentration that either it is dividing to the smaller one or making the larger one. If any reaction, it is dividing to the smaller one, like from starch, it's converted to glucose, from glycogen, it's converted to glucose, that means from big molecule, it is going to a smaller molecule, is known as catabolism. তার মানে হচ্ছে weak to small. মাঝে মধ্যে তোমরা কনফিউজ হয়ে যাও, এটা ক্যাটাবলিজম না অ্যানাবলিজম। জাস্ট look at the initial and the final. If initial is the bigger one and the final is the smaller one, then undoubtedly it is catabolism. Okay? And now, what is anabolism? Anabolism is the process where a small molecule combine together to form the bigger one. That means this is a synthesis process and this is a breakdown process. So catabolism reaction also known as breakdown reaction, and anabolism reaction, anabolism sometimes named as biosynthesis. Okay, so this is the breakdown, this is the formation. Now which one will be energy producing and which one will be energy consuming?
স্যার ক্যাটাবলিজম থেকে হচ্ছে ব্রেকডাউন করে এনার্জি প্রোডিউস করে।
As this is a breakdown reaction, so this one will be energy producing state of the metabolism. That means each and every catabolism process finally give you some energy, and those energy is in the form of ATP, adenosine triphosphate, or NADH, those who known as the energy molecule in your body. And then as anabolism is a synthesis process and a small molecule combine together to form the chemical bond, and during the formation of chemical bond we know that we need to give up some energy to the system to ensure them to overcome the surmounted coal. এটা তোমরা কেমিস্ট্রিতে পড়ার কথা। Okay, so for formation of product to reactant, it needs to go like that, and this energy should be provided by some means. And in case of bond breaking, this energy is given by the bond breaking energy, and after consuming this part of energy you get the extra energy as a energy source from this reaction. Maybe for breaking it need suppose 20 kilocalorie, suppose while during the formation, during the breakdown of all the bond, it get 120 kilocalorie. This amount was used for total process, and so 100 kilocalorie is your balance which you obtain as a heat or as a ATP to use in another state. Okay, this reaction is done. Now for this reaction, you also need this type of energy, which may be 20 calorie or more. Now who will give here? Because here is nothing is breaking. Here something breaking, it gives extra energy and you get energy. But in that case, nobody is giving you the energy. Okay? Then this energy comes from here and help them to synthesize the small from a small molecule to bigger molecule. And as a result, this process endothermic, or we call that endergonic. And these processes are exothermic or exergonic.
স্যার বোনটা ঘোলা লাগতেছে।
আচ্ছা, তো তাহলে যেটা হলো তোমার exothermic or exergonic or endergonic reaction, and it produce energy, it consume energy. The energy necessary for production of this molecule come from this one. As a result, catabolism and anabolism is a vice versa reaction, completely catabolism then anabolism, catabolism then anabolism. That means energy is producing from here using there in anabolism. Again energy is producing from catabolism and then again go for anabolism. This is the common process happening one after another. Okay? Okay. Now, in case of catabolism, there is some common states. If you consider about catabolism of protein, the major food we are intaking, it is protein, polysaccharide and fat. We know that all protein from the meats and sometimes the plants, and then polysaccharide from the your rice or bread, whatever you eat, and the fats is from the fat part which is we intaking every day. Now, if you look at this picture, you will find out a special thing. What is the special thing? All of them at first converted to their monomer. Monomer of the protein is a polymer of amino acid. Polysaccharide is a polymer of monosaccharide. Fat is a polymer of fatty acid. See, protein converted to amino acid, that means its monomer breakdown, and polysaccharide converted to monosaccharide into the monomer from polymer, and fats first converted to fatty acid to the monomer from its polymer. And in the next step, all of them go for the acetyl-CoA, which is an intermediate molecule, to convert them into any other group or participated into any other cycles. So that means whatever you eat, the final product is acetyl-CoA. And also by this process, we basically ensure the digestion of different kind of food source which you are eating, and it's converted to the adjustable format. Tomar body te to your body should not accept the protein from. Is it possible to purchase some chicken and put here? It's impossible. You need to eat those, process those, eat those, and then after eating, it will be converted to amino acid, and those amino acid again used up to produce the protein which is compatible to your body. This protein should not be equal protein which is found in the cow. It should be compatible with your body. And the metabolism and catabolism, catabolism and anabolism process basically help you to convert any kind of format of your body. That's it. The basic principle of metabolism and catabolism. Okay? Clear?
জি স্যার।
Hexokinase or glucokinase, এটা একটা এনজাইম। ওকে, কোন সেলে হেক্সোকাইনেজ, কোন সেলে গ্লুকোকাইনেজ। এই এনজাইমটা কি করে, তারে ফার্স্ট আনস্টেবিলিটির মধ্যে নিয়ে আসে, তার মধ্যে একটা ফসফেট এডিশন করে দেয়। কোথা থেকে? এটিপি থেকে একটা ফসফেট নিয়ে এডিপি তে কনভার্ট করে দেয়, আর এই যে ফসফেটটা আছে এটা এখানে অ্যাড করে দেয়, তখন এটা হয়ে যায় okay. And this instability make this process make it unstable. It always try to get stable. What happened to me? What happened to me? I need to be stabilized. Then again, to ensure its stability, ensure its destability more, another enzyme activated here, which is known as phosphoglucose isomerase. What is isomerization? Isomerization is the process by which a molecule CH3CH2OH and CH3O formula C2H6O. This one is C2H6O, this one is also C2H6O. So this one is known as isomer of 2 and this two known as isomer of 1. And the process by which they interchange is known as isomerization. So you should remember the previous studies, you know, it is very important for you. Okay, then this phosphoglucose isomerase, this is the pyranose form, it converted into furanose form. Okay, what is furanose form? That means fructose. From glucose, it converted to fructose. And now another protein, another enzyme is known as phosphofructokinase 1, which basically we write PFK1. It again act on it and again incorporate another instability to that. Another phosphate is added to it, and then it basically make it more unstable. Immunity, with only one phosphate, it was highly unstable. It was trying to get stabilized. Now you add another one. Okay? So it will make stable or unstable, more unstable. It will make it more stable, more or unstable. More unstable. Because here it was only one phosphate, but now we are obtaining a product which is also chemically unstable. Structurally, hexose format is more stable than pyranose format because of the bond strain. It has some strain, bond strain. এখানে হচ্ছে প্রেসারটা এই জায়গার প্রেসারের চেয়ে কম, এইজন্য এটা একটু স্টেবল। এখানে there is higher bond strain, so it is less stable even though it has a phosphate here and also Sorry, there will be CH2OP. This will be CH2OH. Because when it is converted to pyranose, then there is a CH2 should go there. OP, CH2OP, H, HOH. So this form is more unstable than this one, and we make it highly unstable through this process. And now it is very much anxious to get stabilized because it is not human being. Okay, it will try to stabilize. How I can get stabilized? How I can get stabilized? And then for stabilization, it goes for splitting up, and it is splitted up in the center and produce 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Three carbon membered, two different compound. It could be dihydroxyacetone phosphate or glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. And in that state, fructose bisphosphate aldolase enzyme act on it, and then it is splitted out. As a result, this stage is known as splitting stage. And after cleavage of these two, it enters into another process because already phosphate is there. You see, already phosphate is there. Am I right? As long as it is connected with phosphate, it is not safe, or it is not feel I am calm and quiet. It is still energetic. It needs to reduce this energy to get stabilized. And then it goes for the oxidoreduction process to remove all phosphate from him to make it more stable one. And this process is occurred by two different stages. In anaerobic, this stabilization will give you lactic acid, and in the aerobic one, this stabilization will give you pyruvate. And for the pyruvate and lactic acid, in case of anaerobic, there is one step is more, while in case of aerobic, it stops at the formation of the pyruvate. And pyruvate থেকে কিন্তু lactate হচ্ছে. So these three stages basically ensure the glycolysis process of the glucose and convert from it to 6-membered ring to 3-membered ring. And further oxidation will produce carbon dioxide sometimes. Okay, and then it is gone. So this is the total process I talked to you. At first, hexokinase or glucokinase phosphate in the 6th position. Then it goes for isomerization to form more unstable format of the ring from pyranose to furanose, and then again another phosphate is added by phosphofructokinase 1, and now it has 2 phosphate and also an unstable structure, and it is very much eager to stabilize. Then it break down, split it out to confirm the stabilization, even though it cannot get rid of the phosphate which make it agitated. And then as it is not, even after splitting it is not stabilized, it undergo the oxidation reduction reaction. And because of oxidation reduction reaction, we obtain the pyruvate and lactic acid. Pyruvate for the aerobic process and lactic acid for the anaerobic process. Clear?
জি স্যার।
Okay.
জি স্যার।
মনে রাখবেন, it's easy. It's easy or difficult?
Sir, it's not so much easy, little bit confusing, but we will try.
The reaction is not so much easy. The reaction is not so much easy, but the process I make you clear, it is easy. Okay, the process you can understand now. Am I right?
Yes, sir, you are right.
Yes sir.
But the practice, when I was like you, this is the flow chart. I always love to draw the flow chart when I am free. When I am free, I always like to draw the flow chart. I have some people. Some of them are in my home still now. When I just try to write the reaction, all the step. Maybe first time there is total 10 step. Okay, First time maybe 5 of them are wrong. It's okay. At first you practice by seeing, okay, and then you practice without seeing. First time maybe 5 step is wrong. Then check again, correct those wrong thing, and then again try to write it blindly, and then you will find out that 3 steps are wrong. And by this process, if you practice, believe me, you can write this total figure without any mistake. You need not to worry about memorization. And when I went to bathroom, or when I want to market, when I was like you, I was not a very meritorious student, but I think, what happened? Glucose converted to fructose 5-phosphate. 5-phosphate থেকে কি হলো? এটা এখানে আসলো. This was there. I try to again recall when I was walking, when I was maybe bathing. I was not a bathroom singer, but I try to recall. I try to recall during the what you are doing, bathroom sing. I do not like to do the bathroom sing as a student of chemistry. We need to read more reactions rather than you read. We need to read more reaction mechanism. So it is really difficult, this type of easy busy, okay? But we need to remember those. Why? Because without remembering, I cannot contribute to my society. If I know the process, I can manipulate the process. If I know the inorganic chemistry, I can contribute the society through inorganic chemistry. If I know the organic chemistry, I can contribute to the society through organic chemistry. So you need to think like that. If you think like that, then you will get a lot of enthusiasm to read or write. Otherwise, it is difficult. Okay, everything is difficult if you read or write only for the grades. You need to think about contribution. Okay, and this is the process by which glycolysis happening, and this is the process by which what is catabolism, what is metabolism, and what is glycolysis. We read here, and then we read another 6 processes. Okay, what was the 6 processes? The basic 6 processes which will give you the idea about carbohydrate metabolism, and we can remember them from the name glycolysis. So lysis means breakdown. So what will break down? Glucose. So glycolysis is the process by which glucose break down. And then we said aerobic, it is lactic acid, pyruvic acid. Anaerobic, it is lactic acid. How we can remember lactic acid? By the process, the runner. Okay, when we run, then lactic acid is formed. That means anaerobic should give the lactic acid, and aerobic should give the pyruvic acid. And then we have the acetyl. We have the Krebs cycle, where acetyl-CoA Krebs cycle. Cycle means what start, it will be the end product. That means it starts from acetyl-CoA and come to again acetyl-CoA. And this process will give you the ATP and more other products. We will read later. And then hexose monophosphate shunt. This is the process of formation of ribose sugar. And then glucogenesis. Glycogenesis. Genesis means formation. And glycogenesis means glycogen formation. Okay, and then glycogenolysis. Lysis means again breakdown. So breakdown of the glycogen. Okay, and glycogenolysis, breakdown of the glycogen to glucose or any other smaller part. Then last one is gluconeogenesis. That means genesis means formation, gluco means glucose formation, neo means from other source. That means not from the glucose. So formation of glucose from other type of chemical which is not glucose. It could be pyruvate, it could be lactic acid or anything. Clear?
Clear, sir.
जी सर.
So that's great. Thank you. এখন যেটা হলো, you need to remember and you need to follow. You need to follow your teacher who is really a teacher blindly. You need to love your teacher more than you love her. You need to follow, respect your teacher more than the most respectful person. If he is a teacher, you need to blindly believe him. You need to follow his procedure. The way I said you, this is the only one way you can remember organic chemistry and biochemistry. যে জন্য অর্গানিক কেমিস্ট্রি তোমাদের কাছে খুব কঠিন লাগছে, তোমরা বলছিলা স্যার অর্গানিক কেমিস্ট্রি খুব কঠিন। আমি কিন্তু এখন যারা আছে এদেরকে শুক্রবারে ক্লাস নেই, তখন সময় হয় নাই, তারপরেও সময় দেওয়ার চেষ্টা করি। But basically you need to practice more and more, you need to devote yourself for the learning. If you have the devotion, then you can give the society. Otherwise it is not easy to contribute to the society. It is really difficult. Okay, if you have that devotion, if you don't only read for getting the grades, then you can be a good nutritionist, you can be a good chemist, you can be a good pharmacist or anything else. Otherwise you will be just a part of the society who contribute according to the society's will. You will be a process of the unit processing. Persona unit processing?
जी सर.